Hi everyone, it's John Mitchell, and in today's video, we're going to look at the concept of lean management. So lean management is a methodology or a management philosophy that's focusing on minimizing waste while also trying to maximize productivity and the value for the end customer. So what we need to do in this video is look at the four key principles of lean management. But before we do that, I want to address the concept of waste. And so in the previous video, we looked at the strategies of the 3Rs: reduce, reuse, and recycle to minimize waste. And what we did there was we particularly looked at tangible waste, so inventory and material waste. Now, while that's really important to minimize that area of waste, and lean management can help with that also, it's important to note that waste can come from other areas that aren't always tangible. So what I have here are the 7 key areas of waste. And the first one is transportation. So any unnecessary or excess travel can cause waste because it contributes to time delays and increased costs. We've also got inventory. So inventory overload, that's what we were talking about when we looked at materials management. So excess inventory, it ties up resources of the business, but also risks them becoming obsolete or damaged or causing further wastage. We have unnecessary motion. So if there's parts of the product or even the employees that move more than they need to during production, then that causes inefficiencies, which can lead to time wastage and even production delays. Waiting times is another key area of waste. Any unplanned pauses in production, whether it be due to bottlenecks or waiting for materials, that can extend the total production time and delay deliveries. Next is over-processing, so adding parts or conducting processes that don't really add any value to the product or to the end customer. That is an excess of resources that don't need to be used. Overproduction is about producing more than what customer demand is desiring, so that wastes resources because all of a sudden you've got all these finished goods, and having excess inventory to produce those goods is a complete waste of resources. And finally, defects. So errors that occur within the product can cause significant wastage because it increases the time and resources used to be able to rework a product or even discard it entirely. So while the focus is on the 4 principles of lean management, hopefully that provides the groundwork of the types of waste we're talking about and the types of waste that lean management can really impact and reduce. So let's take a look at the 4 principles. So lean management can be used for all types of businesses, whether it be manufacturing or service businesses. And the 4 principles that we were talking about are called the pull principle, one-piece flow, Takt, and zero defects. So we're going to look at each one of these. So the pull principle revolves around letting customer demand dictate the production rate. So the customer-driven approach prevents overproduction and consequently reduces wastage. So it's the opposite of producing products and then pushing them to the market. Here, the market demand is driving how much is being produced. And so that prevents overproduction. And waste is reduced because finished products that exceed customer demand don't need to be discarded because there's no overproduction. A great example of using the pull principle is Cochlear, which is a global manufacturer of hearing implant systems. And so what they do is their production schedules are shaped by actual customer orders, which avoids any need for forecasting or overproduction. So rather than producing the hearing implants, what they do is they receive the orders and produce to order, allowing customer demand to drive production. Next, we have one-piece flow, and this principle ensures that the work in progress is moving smoothly from one operation to the next without any interruptions. So it's focusing on one task at a time. Another term for this you'll often see is continuous flow. And what it does by doing this, it reduces the time it takes for the product to move through the entire production process, speeding up production, reduces waiting times, and ensures that there's a continuous flow in production. So there's no holdups, no bottlenecks, because there is this continuous flow. And because one piece or one task is being focused on the product at a particular time, can also improve quality because errors are easily identified and rectified quickly. And it's also without interruption because the employee or the machinery that's working on that particular task can focus on that particular task. You may see this sometimes when you go to Subway. So when you place an order, it's passed down the line with one person at each station focusing on one part of the order at a time. So for example, ordering the bread, then getting the meat, then getting the salads and then the sauce, etc. And so what's happening there is often when they're really busy and they're doing it well, they'll be passing the product down the line and focusing on one task at a time. And that greatly speeds up the process of producing the sandwich. Next, we have Takt. And so that's the rate of production aligning with customer demand. So it's derived, the term Takt is derived from the German term meaning pulse or rhythm. So it's really the heartbeat of how quickly products are being produced. So it ensures that the production is keeping pace with demand. So measuring that maximum allowable time to produce each product in order to meet that customer demand. Provides really clear production targets for the business, so that can help them order their materials and resources around meeting those production needs. And it reduces wastage caused by any excess inventory and overproduction because it prevents that from occurring. So to illustrate that, let's look at a chocolate manufacturer operating for 10 hours per day. So the facility's open for 10 hours per day in terms of their production, and the customer demand is 240 units per day. So if we work that out, we go 600 minutes divided by 240 units, and that works out to be 2.5 minutes per chocolate unit, providing a tangible target for the production process. So what needs to happen is, coming off the production line, every 2.5 minutes should be 1 unit of the chocolates that's being produced. And that gives the manufacturing facility and all the employees a really clear target on what needs to be achieved. And the final principle is zero defects, which revolves around eliminating errors in production or also solving them if they do occur before they move to the next stage. So it promotes a culture of proactive prevention, continuous improvement. So it not only bolsters product quality, but it also speeds up production because errors are identified and corrected really early before they're passed down to the next person in the line. So that minimizes the resources spent on reworking and repairing products. Now, in terms of improving efficiency, well, it can cut down waste across all areas of the business, as well as speeding up production, so reducing that time resource to produce each product. And in terms of effectiveness, well, it can increase profits by improving product quality and also meeting customer demand. And also it utilizes resources more effectively, which can also enhance customer value. So just to recap, lean management is that management philosophy that's focusing on minimizing waste while also trying to improve productivity and value for the end customer. There are 4 principles of lean management, which are pull, one-piece flow, takt, and zero defects. So that brings us to the end of this video. Can't wait to see you in the next video. But until then, just remember that for questions, activities, and help in your VCE journey, then come on over to teachingbubble.com.